Hello, today I will talk about the love story between a single father, Keiichi, Naruse, and a very hard-working student, Asumi, from the yaoi anime, Papa, Deity, Shirtai. The first episode begins with Asumi, going to clean the house, of a new client, Naruse, who is a single father, with a cute little boy, and he really needs someone, to help him to clean his house. Asumi tells him, that he is a student, and hopes that this will not be an impediment to the cleaning hours. Naruse says that everything is fine, and confesses that the last time he had someone to clean, there was some problems, but he doesn't go into too much detail. Asumi is a bit curious about this little unknown problem, and thinks that maybe the previous person was a woman, and Naruse, being a single father, who is also very good-looking, maybe something romantic was formed, and it didn't work out. But anyway, Asumi minds his own business, and does what he had to do. And during the day, he just looks and admires Naruse from the distance, not interacting too much. But in the moment that Asumi enters Naruse's room, and wants to clean it, because there are many things scattered, something stands out. A special movie. And while Asumi is looking at that DVD, Naruse also enters the room, and takes that movie, to put it somewhere else. Asumi cracks a few jokes, to make the situation less awkward. Naru, however, feels the need to justify himself. And he says that sometimes, he just needs to relax, after a long day. And Asumi, without thinking too much about his own actions, gets very close to Naruse, and slowly begins to help him relax. After he's done with his little help, Asumi realizes he's gone too far, but he doesn't get to defend himself, because Naruse tells him to get out of his house. After that, Asumi is really thinking that he will be fired. But after 4 days, a message came from Naruse, and Asumi returns to his house to make some chores. He apologized for what happened, but Naruse didn't pay much attention to his words. He says to Asumi that the only reason he called him was because his child seemed to like him, and because he really needed help with the cleaning. Asumi goes straight to his business, cleaning up. And when he's done, he joins to eat with Naruse and his boy. And since Asumi is standing so close to Naruse, he can't help not to be staring at him, because he's beautiful and smells wonderful. And Asumi feels the need to touch him. Naruse, surprised by this, doesn't say anything in that moment, but later, he confronts Asumi, and tells him to stop doing this, especially in front of his child. Asumi interprets these words more as an invitation, and he thinks that now it is a better idea to continue what he started at the table. After they finish this brief interaction, Naruse asks what's up with these actions on Asumi's part, and why he keeps doing it. Asumi tells him that he's not too sure about his own actions either, but somehow he's drawn to Naruse. However, Naruse being a single father, dealing with a lot of social expectations, he has to be more careful with what he does with Asumi. But Asumi still tries, even though Naruse is noticeably more distant. Asumi sees how hardworking Naruse is, how he tries to balance both work and family, and how tired he is. So, Asumi tries again, to make Naruse's life easier, and help him relax his entire body. Naruse really tries to enjoy these moments. But his responsibilities keep coming to his mind. And he makes a decision and tells Asumi that it's time to end this relationship. Asumi doesn't want to hear it, and apologizes for going overboard with this extra care. But he still won't give up. He is promising to keep things strictly professional from now on, just to stick around. And that's pretty much what happens, things get a lot more professional. And one day, when Naruse is busy, he sends Asumi to pick up his child from kindergarten. And there, Asumi overhears some women gossiping about Naruse, and how he's always changing female housekeeper, and what his ex-wife was like. And Asumi understands Naruse's reluctance, due to social pressures, and decides to get even deeper into Naruse's life, to help and comfort him. Naruse keeps trying to explain to him that their relationship won't go anywhere, and it will only cause rumors for both men. But Asumi doesn't care. He wants to help Naruse, no matter what the consequences are, because he's really in love with Naruse. And so, Asumi tries to get as close as he can to Naruse and little Ichika. The three of them go on a date in the park, and they seem to have some cute moments together. However, Naruse, even though he also likes Asumi a lot, he looks at this relationship in a different way. He doesn't confess his feelings to Asumi, because he feels that it is not fair to him. Asumi is too young, and maybe now he sees the current situation to be good, but in the future, he may realize that it is not what he wants. And that it would be better to have a serious family with a woman. Asumi is very optimistic after the date he had with Ichika and Naruse. So, he proposed to move in the same house with them, to try to be a family. Naruse rejects this idea, and tells him that things won't work out between them, especially since they are men, and that is better for Asumi to start a normal family with a woman. And Asumi is speechless. He really doesn't know what else to do to convince Naruse. And for a few hours, Asami tries to mind his own life and go on out with his schoolmates. There he hears them talking about marriage, but he still can't relate with these normal things. And when some girls ask him if he's single and available for a relationship, Asumi thinks about Naruse and how much he likes him. And in that moment, Asumi decides not to give up and goes straight to Naruse's house. But another man also arrives at Naruse's house, a coworker. And Naruse talks to him and confesses that he loves a man and doesn't know how to handle the situation. The coworker tells him that there is nothing wrong with this situation, and Naruse is free and has every right to love whoever he wants. Meanwhile, Asumi also arrives at the door, and the coworker greets him and asks him what he wants. Asumi doesn't really feel like talking to him, and just pushes him out of the way. The coworker stops him and tells Asumi about Naruse's ex-wife, and how she was a difficult woman, and Naruse and Ichika deserve someone much better, who can take care of them. Asumi tells him that he will do everything he can to make things work. The coworker seems happy with the answer, and leaves the two lovers to work out their problems. Asumi and Naruse talk, and confess their feelings for each other, and decide that it's time to try something serious, and start a family. Papa, Deity, Shirtai, is a Japanese yaoi anime, based on the manga with the same name, created by Selena Seo. And the anime has 8 short episodes.